Can you guys see all the faces?
I can see yours.
I can see yours and
Okay,
DripNz.
okay, let
Yeah,
me see. For
I
some
did
reason,
before.
okay, let me get the drip girl back in the screen here. See if I can do that. Let me see. I'm gonna add one more person here. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
That's all right. It's our first time, so we're going to have tech difficulties. No problem.
Okay.
Here she is.
Okay. Do we see everybody on the screen?
Yes.
I think
Okay,
so.
great.
Yeah.
I think everybody's here. Okay. Okay, thank you. I was hoping that maybe we can take a second and introduce ourselves. So we are gonna start maybe in the order with Drip New Zealand, right?
Well, hello, kia ora koutou. That is hello, everyone from New Zealand. I am based. Um, I'm very new dripper. I'm a little dripper. I've just entered the journey and I'm loving the journey so far. I love the community and I just wanted to participate in this to meet the other wonderful women, ladies in drip, so I can learn more about it and maybe help others from my knowledge. So kia ora.
Thank you. Okay, so who's gonna go next? Irene?
I don't see Irene.
Yes, we can hear you.
No, that's Trigger. I don't know where Irene is.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna try to add you again just in case, because I don't know what's going on with the. I'm gonna add you again just in case. Sorry, I'm gonna try and see. Again, sorry if there are some technical difficulties. We are gonna get through them.
Maybe someone else could introduce themselves while you're doing your
Yeah.
techie bits.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Irene, can you?
Yes, I'm online now. Awesome.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
thank you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Irene, coming into you from Australia, fairly early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet, so forgive me for that. I'm really excited to be here, excited to be surrounded by other women in crypto and in DeFi. Yeah, so that's me.
Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you for coming. Okay, Drip Girl, you next.
Thanks to CPG for hosting this. Oh shoot. I think I got kicked off. Let me.
Should Trigger introduce herself while Drip Girl is trying to get? Okay.
Hi, I'm Trigger, and I've been in the DeFi space for just a little over a year. I've been in crypto since 2017 and taught myself how to do it all. So I'm an older woman, but I thought I needed to check out this space so I can maybe make a difference in my, lifestyle.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And Susy, can you hear us okay?
I don't see Susy.
Okay, let's see if we can get, for some reason, let me see. I'm gonna try and re-add Susy. I'm not sure why she got kicked out. Sorry, guys. Some very small technical difficulties because I'm using this software for the first time. So let me see if I can transition and.
Yeah.
Susy, you okay?
Hello. Yes, I'm fantastic. How are you guys? This is great.
Good.
This is great. How are you? Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we can hear you.
I was sharing the link in Telegram. Here we are. So, sorry, did you ask me something?
To introduce yourself.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Girl, I'm back. My. Can you guys hear me?
Introduce yourself.
I don't even know if I'm back in the stream. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
hi.
you are.
I don't even know if I'm back in the stream. I'm just trying to see. Oh, myself off the stream. Girl, excited to be here. Shout out and thank you to CPG for hosting this. I'm really excited to chat with all you ladies about some of just women in DeFi and the everything going on in the Drip community and the awesome opportunities that we have. So yeah. And the everything going on in the Drip community and awesome opportunities that we have.
Uh-oh,
So
somebody's got it
I
on.
think somebody has
Yeah.
our video on.
Yeah, they need to mute.
Somebody has.
I think that's Irene. Irene.
Irene, try and see if maybe you can. Maybe pause the YouTube screen. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, so we have some comments. Some people came to support us here. I see many people. CryptoMark7, Jonathan Rosario, Westside. Let me see. Drip Podgy. Let's see who else.
Crypto Kings.
Crypto
Yeah.
Kings is here.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Yay!
you.
Awesome.
What's up, man?
I'm so happy he's here. I watch him all the time.
He's from my part of the world. Woohoo!
Great.
Oh.
Okay, so we can see this is. Oh yeah, I think it showed the comment. Okay, so so I was hoping that
Ants girl.
Oh, thank you. Wow, we are getting popular.
Ladies of the
Yeah.
faucet.
Ants girl. Hey, Gary Williams.
Yeah, Gary Williams is here. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, everybody. So I was hoping we can perhaps start with probably the easiest question here, right? So I wanted to ask you guys, like, how did you get into crypto in general and DeFi specifically?
I'll just go. This is Trigger. Yeah, I was looking to do something else with my life, and I just started the crypto journey in 2017 when I thought it was an interesting thing. So I spent 4 months and learned everything I could about Bitcoin and all the platforms. And back then, of course, there was no DeFi, so it was all hype on the coins and the ICOs, and started throwing money around that I didn't know anything really. I thought, oh, I'll just buy this and it'll go up. Well, that wasn't the case. But it did go up. I remember having an app on my phone, and one time it was, I don't know, it was a few weeks, it was just kept going up and up and up. And I was making some serious money, but it was all fake money, but because I didn't take any of that out. So I learned a hard lesson, because when the market crashed, it took all those profits away. So I got out of crypto for a little while, and just kind of like had to breathe a little bit, knowing, what am I doing? I really need to learn more about this before I go back into it, because people were just throwing money at coins and, making the hype about, oh, this one's going to go this way and the moon. And it just never went that way. So I just left it alone for a couple of years, and I came back into it and dabbled a little bit. And then I went hard in last year, when all this stuff about DeFi came out and Drip and all these other platforms. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's changed. Everything's changed. So I had to relearn a lot. And it is a definite learning curve when everything changes so fast. You have to keep up with everything. And then you learn about the rugs, and then you get, completely flat out, rugged all the time. You're like, I can't do this anymore because I'm losing money. And it's hard because it's not regulated. Not that we want that, but for me, I was like, I just need to be real diligent about what projects I invest in and just kind of sit back and watch them because that's all we can do at this point.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else wants to add, like, how they got into crypto and DeFi and why?
Oh, Cryptopian is in the house.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
I can go next if no one else is going to go.
Sure.
So, sure. I've worked in technology for probably going on 25 years, and I've always been really passionate about staying up to date with like emerging tech and analyzing how it sort of impacts on people's everyday lives and also, you know, corporates and governments and existing social systems. I actually invested in crypto back in 2017 when a friend introduced me to Bitcoin mining, and I just got hooked after that. So I've already been through a bear market. This is my second bear market, and I think that makes me uniquely able to help others through bear markets, especially if it's sort of their first bear market. So I've done a lot of little bits and pieces in crypto, but it really sort of came to a fore in 2020 when I joined a crypto organization as a sort of like a coach type thing, focusing primarily on education and that sort of thing. So I basically now do my own crypto, but I also assist people who want to learn more about, you know, getting involved in crypto and the potential of blockchain technology, because it's not just about crypto, it's about the blockchain technology that underlies it as well. My partner found out about, and you'll see him stumbling around Telegram under the handle Vegemite Sandwich. He's mine. He stumbled on Drip a few months after it started in 2021, and that's sort of where my DeFi journey really took off. So that's pretty much my background in crypto.
Cool.
Thank you so much for sharing. Who wants to
Can I
go
go?
next?
Me. I have to go. How are you guys? Oh my God, this is great. I'm so happy all of these guys are in the chat and being with us. And well, I started in crypto because I always liked investments, and then I knew about Bitcoin but couldn't invest at the time. But then when it has the first low at 8,000, I invest a little. Then I keep studying blockchain and Bitcoin, and then I started trading. And then I knew DeFi, and one thing led to another, and some rocks, as we all have. And after several rocks, I found Forex, and I'm here. So I'm not going anywhere. That is not a Forex project for now. Because I have so many rocks, not so many. It was like 3, I guess. But for me, I live in Argentina, and it's all this is in dollars, and for us it's a lot of money. So, but I'm so happy because I was looking for a place to especially be safe, that I can invest even $1, $10, whatever I can. But first of all, and it was important for me to go to sleep in peace and wake up. And well, after I've been in Crown, in Wonderland, and several. Um, One day I saw an Argentinian YouTube channel that talked about drip, and the guy said, if you go to the website, it doesn't say much, but if you hear the developer, Forex Shark, then it's another thing. You see why drip is so famous. Then so I listened to my first AMA from Forex, and everything changes. It changes because after, I don't know, but Forex has something. Um, of course, we all know what Forex has, but that gives you trust, and for me, and honesty and transparency, and I'm found in him what I was looking for. I invest with tranquility, and that is um, the best I can find.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Who else?
I'll jump on there. Kia ora, everyone. Great to be our first live, isn't it? How exciting! Um,
Oh, ends.
look, just so you know, mine's a slightly different angle. I'm more here on a mission, so I'm what you might call the pilot, because in our region where I'm from, there's a high levels of bad statistics, high poverty. A lot of our people have the low end jobs, blue collar workers. We don't have the great opportunities. We never taught finance in our schools. So part of what I do is to empower our people into entrepreneurship and also into upskilling in technology. So with one of the fellowships that I'm part of, I met the wonderful Kelly Snook, who's an ex-rocket scientist, and she helped me. Um, she visited my homelands. She helped me to create our first wallets, and from there, now I'm learning as a very little dripper. You know, we've only started with small wallets, but my goal is to master this, to learn it, so that if it works, then a lot of our people who are unemployed or who don't have access to better high paid jobs, if this works, then this would be a great opportunity for some of our people to jump on board, because the access to entry is relatively low, whereas when you play the stock markets, we haven't got a hope of hell of playing in that game. But in terms of the drip, because the price is so low, we believe it's going to go up, hopefully, with all of our support together. This will be an opportunity for people to create their own incomes online. So that's what I'm fighting for. Kia ora.
Thank you so much. Thank you, DripNz.
Right.
I don't see our drip girl. Like, I don't know. Maybe she was kicked out.
Yeah.
I don't see her anymore. Okay, maybe she will join back. I would love to see her back. But thank you so much, guys. I really, girls, I really feel like everybody's story was, very unique. Did we miss anybody? Everybody had a chance to. Okay. So the other question that I had for you guys is about maybe unique challenges and advantages that you feel you have as a woman in the decentralized finance space.
Can I start with this one? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. So I think there's a multitude of challenges in the crypto space for all types of people, not just women. I think the additional issues women have in the space mirror those that we have in real life. It's amplified, of course, because people are not held accountable for their behaviour online, so they feel more free to behave poorly. And given the majority of crypto is done online, you can sort of put two and two together. But it's certainly not a crypto issue. It's an online issue, and it's a wider societal issue. I think one of the great things about the online crypto space is that you can be whoever you want to be. So it's up to you how you want to present yourself. I feel like with crypto and online spaces, you do have an opportunity to start on an equal level as everybody else, merely because you cannot be judged by who you are, what you look like, how old you are, what country you're from, your nationality, unless you choose to identify those elements of yourself. If you present as a female, then there will be challenges that you'll face that you may not have had you presented as gender agnostic. So regardless of if you present as female or not, there are challenges around the type of things you see posted, and I think we've spoken about this before. Some of it is extremely misogynistic and disrespectful to women. but it's nothing more than you would expect to see outside of crypto because it's an online issue and, like I said, an in real life issue as well. You have to remember that online is a reflection of our society, and society is still lacking at all levels in its recognition of women's rights and our equality. So, you know, I feel like it would be unfair to hold the crypto industry responsible for making the online space more appropriate for women or anybody else for that matter to exist within. However, I do feel like we should all be responsible for assisting to make it a safer space, even if it's just in those really little ways, like reaching out to assist people or providing support sort of when asked. So I think there's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of advantages, and it just depends how you've identified yourself online.
I agree, Irene. Especially that's why I just formulate.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to go ahead? I'm sorry, we kind of lost you for a little bit. Can you hear us okay?
I know, I'm so sorry.
Do you want to go
I
ahead?
keep getting kicked out, but I was able to.
Can you maybe
I caught on to that last question.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe you can go ahead and, you know, so we were asking everybody like, so like when you got into crypto and DeFi, and then we moved to the next question, but if you'd like to answer, you know, go ahead.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so I got into DeFi in kind of the beginning of 2021. Was the incredible amount of attention that Bitcoin was getting at the beginning of the year, even the end of 2020, and the whole pop culture push when Dogecoin became huge, and I was just like, what is this? Like, this is like the future of finance, and I have to learn what in DeFi. Looking at Bitcoin, was learning the charts and dabbled a little bit in trying to trade and just kind of understanding the space. But I found Drip at the end of 2021. And yeah, so I feel like I've definitely found a home in crypto in this community and with the Forex ecosystem. I just have a lot of faith in what in this community. So that's where I'm at. And just to go off of kind of that next question of just challenges that we face, I do appreciate what you just kind of shared about you can be, you know, we all are on the same playing field. Sure, we face challenges. People are going to be people. There's bad, you know, attitudes everywhere. So that doesn't lack in the crypto community either. But I just appreciate that it really is a level playing field for everybody who wants to get involved. And that's why I really also really believe in what Forex has created in that it's not just, you know,
I think, Drip Girl, can you hear us?
Must be bad connection.
Yeah, I think so. She keeps disappearing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. We can continue with the question, you know, hopefully she'll come back. So basically, so we're still talking about challenges and advantages that you guys feel that we face as women in the space.
But I can jump on if you like.
Yeah,
The challenges are pretty normal, what's been presented already. So I might just move on to some of the advantages as females in this space, because with our mindsets, we generally speaking are more nurturers. Okay, we tend to be a little bit more empathetic, and more sort of understanding mentality. So when it comes to this community, I think the feminine advantage will be to sort of help nurture people in the space, help more people learn and come into this space. There's a lot of fear out there in terms of crypto. In my specific region, everyone thinks you're going to be hacked, you're going to be scammed. I was even too scared to show my face because I thought, oh my God, is someone going to copy my picture and then find my MetaMask wallet, or so I'm still learning, and it's a bit scary to get out there. But the reason I'm doing this is because I want other women in this space who can help lead and who can help show other women the opportunities. Sorry about you men, you've already got plenty of people in there anyway. You've already got loads of YouTube influencers, but we do need a bit more space to help those other females out there that might be a bit scared, might not know too much about technology, and just show our journeys to support them into getting a piece of the pie.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Yeah.
DripNz.
I would like to say that for me to not only to found forests and the ecosystem, I found that tranquility I wanted, but I found something that I didn't expect, and I feel very blessed. And I wanted to say, especially here, that find the ladies of the faucet, it was a blessed lady mania, and you girls, all the ladies and a couple of gentlemen we had. It's I found a family, I found support, I found love. So more than more, and I'm earning money. So what else can I ask for? We have Forex, we have the ladies of the faucet, we have all the guys, this wonderful community. So I found that the advantage to be of being a lady is to be a part of Ladies of the Faucet. It's just amazing for me.
I just wanted to say, if I can, one other thing, just so that we don't skip over how difficult it is to be a female online. I've had death threats. I've been told to go back into the kitchen. This is why I don't show my face online. So there is an undercurrent of horrific behaviour that we just don't speak about often enough. And I actually stopped posting in the Drip and the Animal Farm chats helping people because I got death threats. Sometimes from people that I tried to help when they found out I was female and what do I know and that sort of thing. So let's just make it clear that there is an undercurrent of horrific behaviour that some of us have experienced that we often don't talk about. Maybe we're ashamed or embarrassed, or we thought we did something wrong. I don't feel that way. I just feel like you're going to have these elements when you deal in an online space. But if you see us hiding our faces or using avatars or not using our full names or not getting out there and influencing and that sort of thing, this is probably why. But there is a lot of stuff you can do sort of behind the scenes, even if you don't sort of want to identify yourself. There are still many ways that you can help people and encourage women into the space, even if you don't feel like you feel safe enough to show your face or show your identity.
Yeah, that's very true. I've seen, if it's okay for me to add, guys, right? Okay. In some of the communities, and I don't want to say that, specifically in the Drip community or like in some specific Telegram group, but there are some Telegram groups out there where people would make some derogatory statements, or they would post like naked or half naked pictures of women, and they start talking how their crypto is gonna get them those women and such. And so I think that some of that behavior might be repulsive for girls, for women, when they get into the space and they're like, oh, there's just a bunch of moon boys that are trying to get laid. That's it. So I think right, but like that's what the posting tell us,
True.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that, especially if we're going to try to bring more women into the space as investors, or maybe even as developers, like Irene mentioned that she actually works in the sphere, right? So not only just regular investors, but maybe women who would be project managers, developers. I think they might be put off a little bit by maybe this culture, right? Like the moon boy culture, where I think it stems to some of the, evolutionary cycles where like men try to get rich to get young, beautiful women. And I think it is in our biology as probably human species, but I think people need to be a little bit more respectful, like in terms of what they post and how it's going to affect other people. So like, we're talking here about protocol. Why are you posting pictures of butts and legs and that's
Yeah, I mean, I experienced that on one of the Telegrams channel, but I still like go there just to get the content that I need, the information, and then I blow back past all that other stuff because I know the spaces can be toxic. And I just go, well, if I don't like this Telegram group, I could just leave. It's just like watching TV, like, oh, that's a horrible show. I can't believe they're playing it. But at the same time, we're here to learn just like everyone else. And it's hard to navigate, and it's hard to maybe put rules onto Telegram groups saying, all right, boys, behave. Like, it's a weird Wild West space. So it's like every man, woman for themselves, I think. So it's just, it can be crazy and comical. And at the same time, it could be offensive, or you can just go in there and get your stuff that you need and get out, because I'm here to make money. Right.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I think I see Drip Girl. I'm gonna try and see if I can get her back. Sorry guys, I'm trying to add her to the pro screen and see if we can get her back here. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna try. Drip Girl, can you hear us here? Okay, so we were talking about challenges maybe and advantages of being a woman in this space. Like big people, like big people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Drip Girl. We are glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also wanted to ask you guys about the future of the space. Like, where do you see the whole space, like the whole decentralized finance space going, maybe within next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years?
Wow, that's a big question.
Yeah.
That's a big question. I think it's really important to understand that there's only a 4% crypto global engagement rate currently. It's around, I think it's like 440 million people. So that's not a lot. We're really, really early. But
Yeah.
and also the adoption rate is increasing like substantially. So if you go and Google like adoption rate of the internet versus adoption rate of crypto, you'll actually see that they're tracking very closely to one another. So you can look that up to see that. I think when we talk about where DeFi is going, we need to talk about where crypto is going. And I think it's moving towards, like everybody says, more mainstream adoption. I see it becoming more accessible as things get a little bit easier to navigate. It can be quite difficult to get involved with some of the elements of DeFi, but that's being made like a lot easier. So I think it's going to be easier for the everyday person or the no coiner to sort of get involved. But then also on the other side, I think there's going to be a lot more institutional investing, and that so far has brought a little bit more regulation. And the more regulation that comes in, the more the big institutions and corporates will feel comfortable being involved. I think we'll see more regulation, and it has its pros and cons. I do feel like there'll be only so far that regulation can reach. So there'll always be a subsection of crypto that's able to be sort of remain unregulated. And I think that's likely to be the truly decentralized platforms and protocols that will escape this regulation. I think what I will say is I think it's super exciting that there's still so much action happening in this bear market. I was part of the last bear market and it was completely boring and dull. There was no real DeFi back then. And essentially all you really could do in a bear market was like accumulate tokens in the hopes that some of them would take off in the upcoming bull market. So there wasn't a lot to do the last bear market. This bear market, there's a lot going on. You can still make good money if you're clever about it. But I think the whole space is just moving towards more adoption, both at the no coiner end and at the institutionalized end.
Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to try?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I think in the space with Forex, we can have so many things we don't know because his mind is so amazing. But as they say recently, this is so early in crypto. Most of the people I know about crypto because they know I am, but they don't. It's like it's too hard to understand for them. But I'm saying this because I think now when Forex puts the fiat on ramp and he's doing things to make things more simple. In my case, I'm trying to put my contribution. I'm a multimedia designer, and I am working on a series of tutorials in Spanish and English at the same time. It has no sound, it's no narrative, it's only visual. Because if I talk and I have to explain the two languages at the same time, it's going to be very long. But this is kind of a didactic deep wiki video thing I'm trying to do. So maybe with all of the stuff that and the projects that they're coming up with so many people in the community, plus Forex, and I think this ecosystem is going to be fantastic, not only for this, because people are going to see how simple it is, to get in, and this is going to make a great advantage for us.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Susie. Drip Girl, people are complaining in the chat that they cannot hear you. Can you try again? And you guys maybe tell us if, you know, Drip Girl, can you hear us? Oh, I think she disappeared again, unfortunately. So did we hear, Trigger, did we hear from you about the state of the space? Do you want to say something?
Yeah, can you hear me? I took my
Yes.
earbuds out. Okay. I agree with Irene. I'm glad she brought up the, you know, the fact that it might be regulated, or it is getting that way, just because you know, the corporations have to keep their hand in every kind of financial institution that is out there. And I agree with her about there's always going to be a subpart to DeFi, and even if the regulators come in and start trying to mess with it and put a kibosh on it, you know, there's, I mean, not that it's going to be like the dark web, but I think Forex had made it clear that you can't find anything about him online. He's completely, you know, like a ghost almost. But that's good, because that way he can still do these platforms and design things and kind of just make sure that he's on a different level of everyone else. I think that that's what's so curious about how this space is going to be in the next few years. I'm glad Irene is part of our group, because she's got a wealth of information. And I always listen to her when she comes into the Telegram and, you know, posts some information for news stuff about any kind of crypto situation going on in the world, because a lot of it is getting scary. I mean, just to be honest with you, it's, you know, yeah, you got lots of countries that are adopting Bitcoin and all these things. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, the DeFi space is just insanity right now. I wish there was just somebody that would come in and be honest about what they're doing with the platforms, and have everyone make money. You know, that's their goal. Their goal isn't just a rug, because, you know, this stuff is going to rug eventually. I don't know what stability is. I don't know. In DeFi, we're just kind of in the middle of it going, okay, what's going to happen? You know, we need some really good developers out there that have a solid platform that's not going to just deteriorate.
Thank you so much, Trigger. People are commenting in the comments. I don't know if you guys can see. So I think More asked, how come he doesn't know? He says, like, who are those ladies? I don't know them. Do they have channels? So my understanding is that DripNz just recently started the channel, correct? DripNz, right? I think you had.
I've only made one video okay. So far, just to activate the channel. But the idea is to just teach it from the very beginning stages.
Okay. Thank you, DripNz. And then Drip Girl, for some reason, I don't know what's going on, but I am struggling with her sound. I'll try maybe to re-add her again. But Drip Girl has a channel as well. I think her channel is called Drip Girl Crypto. And I think Susie S also wrote to me and said that she just recently started the channel. Susie, do you want to talk about it?
Yes, it's about. I don't have the videos uploaded yet, but is that what I said? Oh, sorry. I'm going to make that YouTube channel about tutorials, and not me speaking, but this didactic tutorials are going to be up in my channel. That is this one, Susy Crypto. Thank you, Mo. And thank you for all the support, guys. Yeah, because I think I saw all everyone is doing a great job in their channels, and everyone has their own personality, and well, my way to do it, and my way to see it is to do it graphically. what I know, making videos. So because I know English and Spanish, of course, and I didn't want to put subtitles. So I'm going to make it as simple as they can, and maybe later, if things go well and people want to make a live, because I don't know, we can share strategics or something we can put in another tutorial, but that is going to be later. Now I'm focused in making this tutorial so people can see, read, and if you want, you stop, you go back, you pause it. It's yours. So how to open a MetaMask wallet, how to use SafeTal, hard wallets. Then I want to do like all the. It's going to take time, but kind of all of the basics of the drip wiki, like how to get in the drip garden, what is the drip garden, and what is animal farm, like a general video about presenting animal farm, and then one video for the pig pen, one video for the dog pound, but very simple and short. But it's going to take time, but I think it's going to be something that could help people. And no, that's the idea. Be patient. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Susie. Thank you. And we have now Irene does not have a channel, but she's been one of the stellars of the drip community, right? So Irene has done a lot. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
Irene, you are taking really good AMA notes and shared it in many groups. Very, very good notes. I think all of us appreciate her. So thank you, huge thank you from everybody. And Triga, I don't know, Triga, do you want to tell us, like, what are you doing? I know you are in the ladies of the Fawcett group. Are you doing anything right now? Anything that you share with the community?
No, actually, I'm not doing any kind of YouTube channel or anything. I'm trying to stay quiet behind the scenes and learn as much as I can, just because I kind of like it that way. YouTube and all that kind of scares me, so I'm just kind of just playing it safe in crypto, if that makes sense. And also, what Irene said, I mean, what Susie said about doing the channels and education. When I first got into it, I had to go to Udemy and actually learn about crypto because there wasn't anything out there. And what you do get for newbies, I'm talking about babies, like don't know anything about even Changely or how to change, your coins over so that, you can put it back in Coinbase, all those things. You have to just spend hours trying to find all that on YouTube. I wish there was just one channel that said from start to finish, this is how you do everything to get where you need to be in DeFi. And there just isn't. A lot of us just have to go into these telegrams and ask questions and say, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? And you'll get like 10 different answers. There's no like one way to do everything. Sometimes it's more difficult to change your coins out and then bridge and all that kind of stuff. All those things are, I think, what scares people about crypto.
Yeah, definitely. I also wanted to ask you guys, so we talked about the space and where you see it in 5 to 10 years, but do you believe, it's a little bit of a philosophical question, do you think that at some point decentralized finance will overtake the centralized finance, the traditional banking system, the traditional investment system? Do you see something like that happening in the future?
Yeah, look, I'll have a crack at this. I do see that DeFi will replace TradFi or traditional finance, especially because it offers more inclusion and a shift of advantage from like the powerful, wealthy people and corporates to the everyday person. we can already see many of the concepts of TradFi being replicated via DeFi and being way more accessible to a whole range of people, that some people in countries where they can't even get a bank account. The more regulation that comes to crypto, the more we'll see TradFi being replaced, as bigger institutions will move to the crypto space to try to get the money that they're missing out on. With regards to centralized finance, I kind of think of CeFi and DeFi as a spectrum. So on one side you have true DeFi, and on the other end you have true CeFi. And then there's a lot of different variations and iterations in between. I think regulation will play a part in determining how decentralized or centralized the protocol will be, because, like I said before, regulation is often applied to centralized entities. So I feel like many of the platforms and protocols will make moves to become truly DeFi so they can remain free from the scrutiny of regulation. I feel like, just like in real life, there'll be platforms sitting at all points of that spectrum, but I don't think CeFi will ever be truly overhauled. I think regulation will assist, but what we need to remember, and we've seen this in real life, it's usually the people making the regulations that are the people who have the most to gain from the control present in centralized platforms and industries. So also, if you're well connected, then regulation can be subverted, right? So in essence, centralization means control, control means power, and power corrupts. And we've already seen this dynamic play out in real life, so I assume that we'll see it play out in centralized finance as well.
Thank you so much. Irene, so, you seem very knowledgeable about the space, and you did mention that you also work in this space, right? So not only you're an individual investor, but you kind of have, I guess, broader exposure to the space. So since we started talking about the TradFi and centralized finance and stuff, do you still feel that, so we would still, like some people are like, they're going rogue and they're saying, well, centralized exchanges would not exist maybe in 5 years, whatever. Like people are becoming really skeptical, right? Like, especially like you mentioned with so many, individuals that took advantage. And we've seen like starting in June of the last year, June, July, how like the whole house of cards fell. And we've seen Celsius has fallen. We saw BlockFi has fallen. We saw the Three Arrows Capital. We saw FTX. We saw Voyager. So people are becoming very skeptical of, putting their money on registered centralized platforms now, even Binance. Even some people are scared now of putting their money on Binance because of what happened. So do you think that, you were saying that regulations will come. So can we get away? Like, can we just be completely decentralized in the sense that we don't even have to keep the assets on the centralized exchanges?
We could. There's no reason why we couldn't. But if you have a look in real life, people have been losing money in centralized institutions for hundreds of years, and this is our opportunity to give people an alternate way. But when more regulation comes in, then these centralized bodies will be better regulated. So you shouldn't see things like FTX, or if you do, then you'll see governments come in to bail them out because they've regulated them. So I think there'll always be a place for centralized platforms, because some people just want the ease and the convenience of a centralized platform, or they might be bigger players or corporates or that government. So I think there'll always be centralized entities, whether they're currencies or platforms, but you'll have a choice as to whether you want to partake in them or whether you want to sort of sit in the decentralized realm.
Right. I think just the issue, right, that we have, not only in the DRIP community, but I think maybe in the larger decentralized finance, it's really hard to sometimes to bypass CeFi if you want to get crypto originally, if you want to exchange your fiat into crypto, and maybe the on-ramping, right? So that's why I think a lot of the people, specifically in the DRIP community, are excited about potential on-ramping, because that would hopefully let people bypass Coinbase or Binance and just buy, for example, maybe drip with a credit card or debit card. So now I also wanted to ask you girls, if you, how can we bring more women and girls into the space, into decentralized finance? Maybe some of you have brought other women into the space, who knows? So if you guys can maybe share your thoughts and experiences.
I can jump on there if you like.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
I've already started moving in that direction. So yesterday, what's today? Go Friday. Friday was my very, very first crypto night. So I invited people to come to my place, and then I gave them an overview of the drip. Obviously, I'm promoting drip. I gave them an overview of what drip's about. I showed them the wallet of what sort of earnings can be made. Even at the low price that drip is, there was still quite potential earnings because of the 1% compound interest every day. So I've started just bringing people here because, in particular, our people learn by doing. So when you literally sit down beside them with the laptop, with the mobile, right, this is how you get your Binance set up, this is how you get your MetaMask set up, this is how you join the drip community. You literally show them and walk them through it, because it's far easier than reading and going through the tutorials, because it can get mind-boggling and you can make mistakes. So if you physically spend time, and that's how I was onboarded by Kelly, was via Zoom. We did a few Zoom meetings, we recorded those Zoom meetings, that then enabled me to onboard. So I've onboarded another 4 people, plus I've created several wallets for some of my loved ones, friends and family. And then when they're ready, I will then transfer that wallet to them. So I'm doing it by just physically helping people on board by doing it with them.
Thank you, DripNz.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, it's funny for me because I'm not looking for. I get 2 of my friends and they're ladies, but I make them the account and kind of manage their accounts, because for me the 2 people in my life that are family, and I want them in drip because I want them to be rich, as Ray said. But the funniest thing is that if I always go and have some groceries to the supermarket, and then I always start talking about drip with somebody in the line, or the cashier. Maybe it's not a girl, maybe it's a man, but the other day here I think it was like around Christmas. I was doing some shopping, and the cashier was talking about investing, but in nowhere. Well, you can imagine my face. So I started, well, I'm in drip. So, and what is drip? Well, it's like, so I started to have a short talk when she was doing cashing, when I was paying my groceries. But it happens all the time to me. And I don't know if that is the way we can bring more ladies, but ladies are interested if you have, as I think, and I don't know, Irene, and I don't know your name. The lady that talked before me said that if you put the time, if the people is interested, and you put the time, and people want to know. But the most important thing is education. I think education, people wanting to learn, and people wanting to have the patience to teach, and that combination is very important. There's a cricket sound. I don't know, but
Yeah,
well,
there is.
I don't know if that is it's interesting, but uh, and people if you talk about it, people are interested.
If I could just say a couple of things here, because up
Yeah.
until recently, I'd only ever done crypto online. But sort of mid last year or late last year, I actually went to Australia's biggest crypto expo. And I was shocked when I walked in. There was 5,000, probably 5 to 6,000 people there, and the percentage of women was very, very high. It blew my mind
Really?
how many women were there, and also a large percentage of the presenters were women as well. And
Wow.
so I can promise you that there are way more women involved in this space than anybody will ever realize. And it's because it's not obvious. It's the women in crypto are not always obvious. They're cloaking behind male names or gender neutral names, or weird
Guilty.
avatars.
Guilty.
So yeah,
Guilty.
so there's a lot more women involved than you actually sort of realize. And also what I found at that conference as well was that I was way more respected in real life than I have been online. So I think there are plenty
Great.
of men out there who will respect a female in crypto. But unfortunately, like somebody else said, there's a few degenerates in the space, and they tend to be very loud and very prolific. So I think that I think there's a lot more women involved than we'll ever know. And I think that there are a lot of respectful people out there who will listen to a female in crypto and take them seriously. So I'm going to make more of an effort to sort of go to these crypto experiences in real life, because it's just amazing. There's another one in Australia, in Sydney, at the end of this year, which I'll be going to. It's just to be able to go and be surrounded by women and men in crypto, and just be able to go up and talk to anybody about crypto and not be looked at like you're weird or you're a scammer, was the best experience I've ever had in my life.
Thank you for sharing this, Irene. I think this is really important because, you said, wow, like you saw so many women that were in the space in this real life conference, but like the estimates are really low when we talk about, we talk about surveys. I think I've been trying to look at how many women are actually in crypto, and the estimates are anywhere between 10% to 20 to 34 to 37 was the highest estimate. Now that's crypto in general, meaning that maybe they just hold, like a portion of a coin or something like that. Now, if we talk about DeFi, I think these numbers will be even lower, but we wouldn't know the true numbers. Like you said, maybe some people are using gender neutral names, or like Trigger mentioned, maybe they're hiding behind male avatars. So it is possible that, actually there are many women in general in crypto space and in decentralized finance space. There was this question here from Mo, and he said, like, we did talk about it a little bit earlier, but he was like, I'm curious, how did these ladies get involved in crypto and DeFi? The ladies I know in real life don't even know what crypto is. So I'm really sorry for Mo if he's hanging out with people like that. But like, yeah, right. Did like somebody introduce you guys to crypto, or you found it by yourself? Like, what was that very first time that you kind of got aware of the space and decided to try it out? Like, what was your trigger, essentially? Like, trigger.
Okay, I'll go for that. The reason why I kind of knew fiat was on its way out. I needed another income, and I was an older lady, and trying to fix, because I'm on my own. I don't have a husband or anything like that. So I needed a way to make more money without, I did the stock thing a little bit. That didn't work out. So I'm like, what is this? Let me check Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then I just started learning as much as I could for 4 months straight. Like every day I would get up early and be in classes all day so I could learn about it. That's how deep I was. Like, I'm just going to do this for 4 months because I needed to find a different way out, because as you know, the climate of the global economy is just not stable. So not that crypto is, but it was a way to be able to change my life in a nanosecond, like everybody thought it was going to do, until it didn't. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you so much, Trigger. I tried to add Drip Girl. I don't know, Drip Girl, can you? Your screen became black, but can you hear us?
I can hear you right now.
Okay. Do you want to answer this question? I'm sorry, we've been struggling for some reason with on your end. So we are talking about, like, what was the first time that you got into crypto? Like, what was your trigger? Like, how did you learn about this space?
Oh yeah. Well, my total moment was when it was going nuts at the end of 2020 and into 2021, when Bitcoin was like climbing ridiculous, and Dogecoin honestly really kind of hit home for me because it was just going viral. And I'm like, how is this just taking over pop culture right now? Is this Dogecoin, So that was kind of that trigger moment for me where
Oh.
Drip Girl? Oh, something happened.
Maybe.
I think we lost her again. Sorry, guys.
Maybe she connect only the audio.
I don't know. For some reason, like, she keeps going in and out.
I think she just has a bad Wi-Fi connection or some sort of connection, because she did try without video, but it's just not working for her.
Yeah. Anybody else wants, like Irene or Susy? Do you guys want to tell us, like, when was that moment?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to go first? Or...
Go.
Okay, so I was, like I said, I've worked in tech my whole life, so I'm always interested in emerging tech. But I was very busy. But a guy in my software company rang me up one day and said, Irene, I need 10 grand. That's Australian dollars. I want to invest in a Bitcoin miner in some country. I don't even remember the name of the country. It was some weird country. Do you want to do it? And I was like, $10,000 back then was in 2017, start of 2017 was a lot of money for me. But I knew he was smart, and I just said, yeah. And I looked into it. I was like, I don't know what this is, but my gut tells me it's something. So I gave him the money. We were mining. It was supposed to be lifetime Bitcoin and Ethereum mining. But we hit the bear market, I think it was January or February 2018, and bam, all our miners got shut down because what they were making wasn't keeping up with the fees. So we only got a year of sort of mining of both of them, but it mined, like, I didn't think it was quite a bit back then, but it actually is. And then when we went into the bear market, everything just died. And I sort of just left all my mining there, and like, and then the bull market started ramping up again, and I was like, well, obviously this thing isn't dying, it's coming back. That's when I started learning about bull bear market cycles and all of that. I got very heavily involved. My partner was the one, Vegemite Sandwich, he was the one that found Drip, so we got involved in DeFi. And then I started working for my brother's cryptocurrency company. So I started a career in crypto, and our main aim is to help people, like educate people like no coiners, all the way from no coiners to corporate investors, help them understand crypto and be able to invest in a safer way. And we teach a lot about how to keep safe online, not just in crypto, but online in general. So we do a lot of education, and then we also curate opportunities for them. So I've been in probably every DeFi protocol for the last year and a half, because I'm the one that tests them out and makes sure that they're sound or safer, because nothing's totally safe in crypto. And I'm the one that has to go in as the guinea pig and test everything and then report back to the community as to which ones I'm confident in putting my own money in. So, yeah.
Irene, I love your job. I love your job, Irene. I love your job.
Yeah.
Such a great job description. Yeah.
That's amazing, Irene. Is there any job openings? Just kidding.
Yeah. We're all growing.
We are growing. So, I don't want to say the name out here just because I don't like shilling, but everybody sort of knows me on Telegram. So, if you want to DM me, we are growing. It is a bear market, remember, so everyone's sort of stagnant with regards to hiring and stuff. But once the next bull market comes, I could see that we would probably have scope to increase the team. So, yeah, if you're interested, you can send me a DM. I can keep you on a list.
Can I ask a question, please? Can I ask a question to Irene? Because you've got quite an in-depth knowledge about crypto, how do you think with Drip? Because obviously we're going through a bit of a tough stage at the moment, but it has been going for 2 years now, hasn't it? Which is wonderful, which is why I'm sticking with it, and I do believe in the ecosystem. But what are your thoughts well, you're obviously still in Drip, so you must think it's pretty good. But from your techie background, what are your thoughts on Drip and how it's going?
That's a very big question. It's a very loaded question as well. I am still confident in Drip. I think that it's been going for a long time, and I've been in other protocols that have well died by now. I think it needs more utility, which is what Forex is working on. If it was just on its own, it had no plans, there was nothing planned for the future, there was no extra utility coming, then I might be mildly concerned. But there are things coming. It is part of an ecosystem, and it is under the care of a developer who cares about his platforms and cares about his reputation. He's not stupid. If something happens to Drip, it affects his reputation. So I think it's still sound. Yes, we are down. We need to find a bottom. But remember, we are in a bear market, and there's heaps of other tokens that have died or gone to zero. There's a lot of platforms that have rugged or died. So I'm still confident in Drip, and what I tell people who are fearful of what's happening is I just say head down, keep compounding, grow your wallets. There's a bull market coming. I think it's going to be Q4 this year. Like other people think it might be Q1 2024. The bear market is all about accumulation. Yeah, you're accumulating for the bull market. Some things will work out, some things won't. Stay diversified. I'm a big fan of diversification. I don't have all my wealth tied up in the Forex ecosystem. There's other things you can get involved in, like blue chip tokens, Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokenized real life assets. There's a lot of things that you can get involved in. So I think it's a good idea to be diversified. Don't put in more than you can afford to lose. That's a 101 crypto thing. But I think there's going to be happier times for Drip and for the entire ecosystem as more things are released and as we edge back into that bull market.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
I think
Thank
all
you.
of us
That was
really
great.
appreciate your opinion. Sorry,
that was great.
go ahead. Yeah. Especially knowing that you are in every single DeFi protocol. I'm even scared of asking you how many are out there. Like, I think it's probably hundreds of them.
Yeah, there are.
And knowing that
I'm not in every single one of them because I can pick a scam pretty easily, so I won't go into all of them. But I probably, since the beginning of this year, I've been in over like around 40 to 50 platforms, and I can tell you that only a couple of them are still around, and they're struggling, like really struggling. They're going to die. So Drip, Animal Farm, are some of the very few that have not rugged or died.
Irene,
Yeah.
I wish
Yeah, thank
I
you.
knew you before I put all that money into all these rugs, man. I would have been happy, happy, happy.
Irene is our lady forex.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I feel so much better after listening to Irene, given that she has experience comparing so many different platforms and saying that very few actually survive. I was gonna ask, yeah, that was kind of like a segue actually into my next question. Are you guys, so I'm assuming that many of you are in both Drip and Animal Farm, maybe some of you just in Drip. Are you in any other protocols, or are you just in the Forex's project?
Well, in my case, now I'm in Forex's project, but I have a little Bitcoin, a little Ethereum, a little cake, but they are in the Animal Farm making dogs. So that's the way I diversify, um, because I found I have some like a year that I learned about trading, and I trade. I make great money with Sol in Solana. Um, I make like for me $300 in a day was a lot. And I use an app, and it was funny because I was getting treatment for my foot, that I have a problem in my ankle, and I was in they were doing the treatment in my foot, and I was trading in my phone and earning money. And that was very funny. So I went through some. I study a lot. I study first a lot. I knew what I wanted. So I at one time I said I want to do trading, not at forex level, of course, but for me was good. It was a bull market at that time, so I could handle it. And then I listened to like there was like 10 hours of MIT videos, like an hour. There were classes that they were talking like what is blockchain, what is Bitcoin, smart contracts, like 10 hours in the MIT YouTube channel, and I learned a lot, and especially when I found out what blockchain is and what is Bitcoin. And I'm a very techie person. I love technology. I made a website for my father like in 20 in 2001. So every technologies that is coming up, I'm interested. Now I'm going to study the AI to make images, and I want to do like 3D with AI. But well, it's like so I want I knew about blockchain, and I like to study. I'm really nerd. I'm really nerdy. So I spend hours studying, and then I try and find my way.
Thank you so much, Susie. Seems
Thank
like
you.
we have a lot of like techie women, nerdy women, techie women. The way that you guys
Yeah.
are describing.
I'm not techie, people. I'm not techie. Just so you know, I got involved through Kelly Snook, who helped me create my first wallet, as I said, and I'm teaching
Yeah.
others. But I'm in Just Drip. Yay!
Yay!
I'm
Woo!
loyal to
You're
Just
Drip
Drip.
Maxi, right? You're
That's
Drip
also because I don't know
Maxi.
much about anything else. But I've got NFT. I've bought some NFT for to support Guardians of the Reservoir, and
Oh, shut up.
Oh my
You
God.
and I've got 4.6 pigs in the pig pen. The only problem
Go.
is they're in the pig pen, but they're not in my wallet. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone has time to teach me or show me how to get it into my wallet. I don't know, but so yes, I'm a brand new dripper, and I want to also look at Droplet and watch the. Is it? Oh, is it Mo? Is it Mo Crypto who's doing that, or DeFi Proof? I need to sort of study Droplet and see how I can support that as well.
So More is actually part of the Guardians of the Reservoir project, and I
Yeah.
think we did see the developer for the Droplet early in the chat, and I'm not sure. I think his name is it Paras?
Yes,
I hope that I'm
yes.
pronouncing it correctly. So we have seen some guardians here, and we have seen the developer of the Droplet, and thank you so much for coming and supporting us here. Any of you guys in any other projects at all that still like Drip New Zealand? She's doing like lots of drip sims or drip related projects, and but are any of you like in some other projects that are not intersecting with the drip ecosystem, or pretty much everybody's just doing? Well, I know Irene said she's in like many others, so I guess because of her job. But any Trigger, are you in anything?
Yeah. Well, I was past tense because I ended up getting a drip of last year in February, and when it was really super high, fun times, and watched it decline. I'm like, it's okay. And so then from there, I started getting into the other DeFi projects, thinking I could get passive income and not worry about trying to work and trying to thrive. And everything just went tanking. And so the money that I trusted people with or platforms with just rugged. And so the money that I had that was, extra went away. And so this year I thought, okay, well, this is better. Hopefully this one other project is going to be good. And it didn't. Like, I went in with everyone else with the baked beans hype, and the only thing that's going is BNB Miner, and I put a good money in that one, but I haven't gotten a return on it because like all I do is try to keep compounding to get it back up. So once I'm done with miners, I'm done with miners. I mean, I've been in so many platforms that have been not helpful to me at all, and so I've lost a lot of money. So I'm trying to regain it through consistent platforms like Drip and Animal Farm. I only have a couple of pigs and a few dogs, and just watching it because I can't put anything else into it right now with the bear market. But I think it's fascinating that Irene was like the test, like the guinea pig with all this. This is wonderful because I think once you do that, I think once you have the knowledge of that, you'll know what doesn't work and how to find out what will work in the future. And there'll be success with these platforms that are DeFi, because there's too many people that bring in just forks of everything and then they die. So someone's going to come up with a whole new platform like Forex and do something that's going to be stable for the rest of us, and we can all, live happily ever after at the end.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say on miners. I won't say it here. But unless you're first in, you're screwed on a miner. So just keep that in mind. Like the garden and the piggy bank are miners as well. The Forex has made it mildly more inclusive and equal. But a miner is a miner, and you have to be very careful of them. So the other things that the two things that I'm looking at the moment and that I just recently invested in are Droplet and Daylight Protocol. So if you want to go and have a look at both of those, I encourage you to do that. I do not
look. What's the second one? Irene, so
Daylight
which
Protocol.
one?
DAYLIGHT, Daylight Protocol. The token
Daylight.
is
Okay.
DAYL. Go and have a look at that. What I will say is just before this bear market, my partner and I we were going to quit our jobs, and I I had a feeling that we might get the bear market a little bit sooner because of what happened with Celsius and BlockFi. And when a couple of big institutions like that go down, it's never the end. There's always like a knock-on effect, and we're still seeing some of that. So I actually held off on quitting my non-crypto job. I have two jobs, a crypto job and a non-crypto job. I have a software company that I run. And we went into the bear market. So, you know, my advice to people is always don't quit your job unless you've got 5 years of income stashed away, right? That's the first thing I tell people. The other thing is don't get involved in miners. One of the other things is be very careful of forks. They're very, and you've heard Forex say this on AMAs numerous times, and I felt very vindicated when he did. You've got to be careful of forks. They're very easy to dial up. And they're very easy to make subtle changes to, so they can be rugged or they can slowly die to the advantage of the developers. So you've got to be very careful with forks. And also you have to be very careful of, you know, I'll be in the Ladies of the Faucet chat or Folly Bakers Keep It DeFi Telegram chat. They're the ones I'm hanging with the most. And I will often post warnings in there. I think I warned of the FTX collapse a week before, or 3 or 4 days before it happened, because we have feelers out everywhere, legitimate and not quite legitimate news sources, back channels. So we often see things that look a bit weird. We felt really weird about Sam Bankman-Fried and just had a gut feel that something was wrong. And we called the FTX collapse around a week before it happened. All our clients got all their funds out. I know I posted on Ladies of the Faucet. Hopefully they got all their funds out. But there's a lot of dangers in DeFi. There's a lot of dangers in crypto, and we really need to do better at educating people around these dangers. And I think Forex does an amazing job in the AMAs, where he's often talking about, you know, that there's a resurgence of these trading bot platforms, right? Where you give them money and they go, oh yeah, we're going to do these little trades, we're going to do arbitrage, and we're going to make you money. And Forex has said it numerous times before, if you have a trading advantage and you give that out to people, you don't have that advantage anymore. So it makes no sense for people with trading platforms to be selling, you know, ownership in the trading platforms or getting you to put your money in. Also, if they're that great at being a trader, why do they need your money? They should just be able to trade for themselves. So, you know, there's a lot of things out there. If you listen to Forex's AMAs or read the notes, he will often give you precursor warnings on certain things as well. But we are also looking at other sources as well. But you need to keep your eyes open and your ears close to the ground, because you know, I think over my crypto career, I've lost around $20,000 in rugged platforms. Part of that was on purpose, obviously, because I am a guinea pig. But some of that was just rushing in because of FOMO, or because someone else was doing it, or someone said, oh, this person's involved in drip, so they're doing this, so it must be okay. It's never okay. You got to look into it. You got to ask around. There's plenty of really knowledgeable people in our community. You need to use them and sound them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Forex is a natural teacher. He loves to teach. He always said that he opened the Discord because he wanted to teach his family and friends. But you listen, as Irene said, you listen to Forex and in an AMA, and he's a teacher. He can't help himself. Like he's always telling you what to do, what not to do, why he gives master classes sometimes. And if you have the luck to find him talking in another outside of Drip, we know he can talk for hours. And I'm like that little girl with the hands in his chin, in her chin, listen to him, because I learn a lot about Bitcoin, about trading, about he's very generous person with his knowledge, and I think he's human as all as we are, but he must be more valued, I think is the word, because he gives us so much. But this is my point of view, and I wanna, if I have I wanna say thank you very much to a person in the chat that I know we all love, that is Lady Mania. She's a he's the biggest heart in crypto, I said. And I think we all love her. And thank you for all you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for the support that she's been providing to all of us. Yeah, it seems that, I agree with, Susie, as you were saying, Forex does try to warn us about potential forks, potential rugs. I remember that, I don't know if any of you guys were in Elephant Money, but he did state that there was a vulnerability in the protocol. I believe it was stated in a Telegram channel at some point. I still went in, and I still can't get my money out right now. So like in Elephant Money, I have a lot of money in trunk that I can't really pull out. Like the queue is so long to claim. Like you claim and they put you in a queue, and it's like I think I'm like 1,500 out of 2,500 people, and only 4.5 claims are honored every day. So it might take like 266 days, or maybe it will take even longer just to get the claims out. So never experienced it with Drip, right? So with Drip, you claim, you swap your money, it's there. Like there is no queue. You don't have to wait, 266 days to get your money out. And I've been, I'm not as crypto savvy as maybe Irene, who has sort of professional exposure to the space, but I also started in this space in 2017 in December, when the Bitcoin hit all-time high. Was, I think, 21,000 at that time. And that was my first time accumulating coins. And I discovered decentralized finance in 2021 through a newsletter, crypto newsletter I was subscribed to, and I started learning about staking. I used to stake Band and Graph, and then got into Celsius. I have like huge loss with Celsius after the Celsius went bankrupt, or reorganization, Chapter 11, whatever. And unfortunately, I would say that really my success was really in Drip. Even though I tried many, like Drip New Zealand, I was a part, and I'm still a part of Kelly Snooks. And I think also Kelly is really a big person in Drip, who helped a lot of people to get in and devise good strategies. So I was in Kelly Snooks' Drip Rocket Science group, where people discuss a lot of other projects. So I got into Elephant Money. I have not seen any success yet there. I am also in Rex, and I'm not seeing success there yet. I don't know. Maybe future will tell. And I do have losses. For example, I did try MDT2, which was a miner, and like Irene said, you really have to be careful with miners. I wasn't pissed on. I was able to pull most of the money out, but really didn't make anything. So I think that really whatever I gain personally is Drip and Animal Farm, and now Droplet. Very recently got into Droplet to support the project. So yes, the space is out there. There are so many projects out there, like Irene is saying, but I think very few are actually working. Very few are actually working. So I see Lady Mania left a comment that, where she lost 130,000 in a rug in 2021. I can relate. I can relate. I can relate. I had really massive loss with Celsius. I mean, it's not a rug, you know what? It is a rug in a way, right? It's a robbery. It's a robbery. So, yeah, even, you know, centralized exchanges are dangerous. So I really like how, you know, we are talking about education and really testing the protocols and, you know, really learning about like do your own research, right? It's a big thing. So do your own research, do your own. So like you really have to do a lot of your own research, and people like Irene, you know, that provide us some extra inside knowledge. They're always helpful. They're always helpful. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Can I say something? When everyone's saying do your own research at the top of their YouTube channels, it's like we don't have any research to do. We're just listening to other people say how great this platform is and what it provides. But for real, we don't know what's happening because we're not developers. That's my question, is like, do your own research. We really just, how about do your own intuition? I mean, that's where we're at right now. Like we need some kind of like, you know, a third eye seeing what's happening out there to see what protocol to come in. And, unless we really know, like Irene, have a group of friends that go, okay, you're going to go do this platform. You're going to go guinea pig this one and see what happens. The rest of us, we're just like blind out there, not knowing, just trusting, which sucks because everyone is, you know, even if you're doxxed, you know, it doesn't matter. People will run off anyway. Yeah.
Can I ask something? Because with the drip community, you're quite right, Trigger. What you're saying is, what is the research? How can we prove it? The only reason that keeps me connected to this drip in this community is because there's quite a few influencers on the YouTube, so I watch their channels and they seem real in what they're saying, and through the Telegram groups. So I don't know if there's any other crypto networks like the drip one, because I'm new to this space. I mean, is this the best network out there? Because if it is, I mean, that's the reason I'm staying in here, because of the faith and because it's a long-term investment. So the other cryptos that you've invested in, do they have such a powerful network of people connecting?
Just because a token has a powerful and passionate community doesn't make it a good project, for a start. So the drip community is passionate and prevalent, and it doesn't, I'm not talking about drip when I talk about this, but you know, people will sing like the band on the Titanic as it went down, because you never fudge your own bags, right? So even if a platform or a project isn't doing well, you'll find a lot of people praising it because they've got bags in it. So they don't want to flood their own bags and ruin their own investment. With regards to do your own research, it's a legal disclaimer that you're required to put up whenever you talk about crypto. That's all it is. There is no, you know, there's limited amounts of research you can do into a protocol if you're not a developer, and I'm certainly not a developer. As part of my workplace, I have a team of 4 or 5 researchers. Some of them are developers, some of them are very proficient in tokenomics. So I test it out and then I hand it to them, and they do like full reporting on it. And then that's what, if they okay it, then that's what goes out to our community. So I am not the be all and end all of determining if a project is good or not. I have another team behind me that it goes through. So, you know, do your own research. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And you make sure that you surround yourself with people that know. I always try and surround myself with people that know more than me, but I always help people who know less than me. So that's the sort of dynamic that I work with. But everything's a risk. Everything's a risk. You know, this is what we need to understand: is crypto is in its infancy. It's an emerging technology, and you know, even with the Celsius and BlockFi and FTX, these are all things that should have been run properly, that should have been done the right way, that we, especially Celsius and BlockFi, we should have been able to trust that as a platform where we could safely put our blue chips. We should have, but they did the wrong thing. And a bear market always washes out people who are doing the wrong thing. So when you see a bear market come is where you see a lot of the collapses happen. because it really weeds out the people that are doing the wrong thing. So, you know, I had funds on Celsius. We had funds on Celsius. It was a very quick and brutal downfall that we didn't see coming, and not many people did. So that's when you go to sort of ethos number one, which is don't invest more than you're willing or you're able, to lose. So you don't want to be investing money where you lose it and your life is over, right? You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be putting yourself in that position. Do we want to lose money? Absolutely not. But you don't want to go down the path where you feel like you have to end your life because you've lost everything, the house, the car, you know, that sort of thing. So just be careful about how you invest. And like I said before, we're all about diversification. So if you've got like, you know, $100,000 to spend, $10 to spend, whatever, make sure that, you know, you're looking around and not putting it all in one pot, so to speak.
Great advice.
Thank you so much, Irene. We would love to have you again, all of you guys, Irene and everybody. Maybe you guys would consider, you know, doing part 2 or part 3 at some point, if that's, you know, if there is interest. I'm all very open. I think I learned so much today from you, and I think the community learned as well. I think we have about 15 minutes before my platform will shut down. So
CBG,
I wanted to see.
I have to go. I'm so sorry, but I have to go. I've got another community who we to go to. So thank you very much for inviting me online. Yes, keep me posted. I would definitely like to continue this because I think we need to support more women and share our perspective and support the drip community as a whole. So lovely to meet you all. Take care,
Bye.
drippers. See you next time.
Love you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
So Drip New Zealand had to leave, or she's leaving. Do you guys have any other concluding remarks? Anything that you wanted to share with the community?
Don't invest in a project where the developer has known to have rugged before. Don't invest in a project that you were already invested in and it went under and then you came back again and you leave your money in it. We've learnt lessons from BlockFi with that. Don't touch things that have been compromised in the past or are built by people who have had platforms compromised in the past. I cannot stress this enough. When Elephant Money came out, I warned everyone I knew about the fact that the developer has rugged, soft rugged, whatever you want to call it, before. And that was enough for me to not touch it with a 10-foot pole. A lot of people did. And a lot of people, like Crypto Professor Girl said, are still trying to get their money out. But make sure that if you hear that a project has been compromised in the past or is forked off something that has been compromised in the past, or it has people involved in it that like have compromised platforms in the past, don't touch it. There's plenty of other things you can invest your money in. It's already a risky space as it is. There's no point like increasing your risk when putting your money somewhere.
Bravo.
Thank you so much, Harry.
I really appreciate everyone coming in today because it really helps the community and it helps women in DeFi. And I'm just so happy to be a part of it and learning every day about everything. And if I knew what I know now, I would not have put my money in all the rugs. You know, I would have been more cautious.
Me neither.
I mean, it's the truth.
That's
Everything
true,
is like we learn by our mistakes, but then, you know, we're walking around with an empty bank account. So I'm going to start fresh and just be more, you know, diligent about exactly what Irene says. Look at the developers. What have they done? Try to find information out on them, and then join the Telegram groups and see what you can find out before you throw money in. And then also, Irene, I was going to ask you, especially with one of the protocols, I'm not going to mention its name, but when they say, oh, join now and you get a 30% discount, or when they start doing all of those other like discounts, or okay, we're gonna end this tomorrow, so everybody's got to join, you know that there's something going on.
Right. Correct. and whitelisting, and also shilling to get a whitelist. Like, mention us on 50,000 platforms and you'll get a whitelist spot. Dodgy. Get in by, like, get a whitelist, get this, get that, get 30% off. Well, who cares if you get 30% off if all your money disappears a week later, right? If you really believe in a platform, if you really believe in a token, then you'll put your money in at 100%.
Exactly.
Not at a discount.
Yeah.
So don't fall for the discounts. Don't fall for all those, like the competition stuff that Forex did. Fine, that's fine. You know, you're getting sort of rewarded for doing a few bits and pieces, but you don't have to get necessarily sort of invest like a lot of money in the protocol to do that sort of thing. So if there's all these gimmicky things hanging around something, I go, all right, this thing obviously can't stand on its merit. It needs all this like bullshit surrounding it to get it out there and for people to invest. And those are the things that I'm not about those.
Thank you so much for sharing your insight. This is really helpful.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Just so you know, guys, these are all marketing ploys that are used in real life. These are all things that we see used in real life to get people sucked into things. So even though crypto is a whole different world, it's not really a whole different world. You see lots of concepts and scams and stuff like that. Some of them translate from in real life over to the online space. So just be aware of that connection.
Thank you, Irene. Really appreciate. I think this is really words of wisdom for all of us.
Yeah.
Susie,
also,
did you have anything?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
If you have a daughter or a son, get them involved now, young. My daughter had her first drip account and she was hydrating when she was 3 years old. She was hitting the hydrate.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so make sure that, you know, if you've got any young'uns around you, that you start getting them involved in crypto now, because it's not just crypto, it's the blockchain technology. It's going to disrupt every single industry that we currently know in real life will be disrupted by the blockchain. It's going to be a bigger disruption than the personal computer, the internet. Like, this technological change that's coming is going to change every single aspect of our lives, and we need to get our kids socialized with technology and how things are going to play out when they're adults.
Yeah, I mean, the things that, you know, are projected, for example, you know, I read an article several weeks ago about integration of real estate and blockchain, in the sense that, you know, maybe every single title eventually will be recorded and transferred through blockchain, and not some, you know, weird county office, some state or federal office. And I thought, this is so cool, right? Like a permanent record of your house on the blockchain, and it can be, you know, it can never be lost. So
or changed.
or changed, right? So there are so many property disputes all over the world, you know, with documents being lost, with, you know, still so many places keeping paper records. And I'm like, if there was a record of your house on the blockchain, and every time it gets transferred, it would get recorded on the blockchain, that's forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Jeffrey's talking about Droplet buying real estate in Dubai. So I'm already involved in a token that's fractionalized ownership of real estate using crypto. So that's going to disrupt real estate as well. But blockchain is going to disrupt manufacturing, transportation, health. It's already disrupting financial. You know, it's going to disrupt the internet, you know, streaming your music. It's going to disrupt absolutely every area of life as we know it. So learn about the blockchain. Crypto is one very small subsection of the blockchain. So go and learn. Don't just learn about crypto. Go and learn about the blockchain and the underlying technology. It's very difficult to absorb. There are some very good videos if you go like Blockchain 101 or Blockchain for Dummies. You know, even I don't have my head fully around the blockchain. I don't think anyone truly does. But learn about the blockchain and learn about research about how the blockchain is disrupting current day industries so that you're ready.
Yeah, and gaming too. I mean, it's already integrated with such a huge, right? The integration of, I think gaming will be really taken by storm. It's already, I think, being taken by storm for sure. Okay, thank you so much, Irene. I think we learned so much from you today.
Yeah.
Susie, did you want to say anything else too before we
And
go?
no, I appreciate everything Irene said. I was going to say about crypto that the same about the blockchain. When you know, when you learn, one thing I have to say it again. Education is so important, and take the time. Take the time. Sometimes I know people um, will find it kind of a boring, maybe, but it's amazing and it's very interesting. I when I was going through this journey and learning from one and another, I trying to learn about Bitcoin. Of course, I found Michael Saylor, and he has a web. I don't know. I think it's Bitcoin is true or faith or something like that. I don't remember. I will put it in Telegram later. But in there, you have all. He puts a lot of websites where you can learn about blockchain, Bitcoin, whatever. And then I found the MIT YouTube channel where I learned uh, if you learn what is a smart contract, if you learn what is blockchain, what is why Bitcoin is Bitcoin and it's not a coin that can die and that is not possible, and it's more than a coin. And if you are educated, you can invest in more wisely, as Irene said. And I think this is just the beginning. I think Forex is going to make a lot of things that Irene said, like with the privacy and the insurance. And there are, I saw some videos of people that are giving lectures about blockchain and talking about, I sold my car over the blockchain. I make a smart contract, and
This is cool.
yeah. So there, if you want to find education, there is a lot. YouTube is like a big university if you want. Um, so I think DeFi, because people listen to crypto and they say, "Oh, it's corrupt." But if you start to know that in block it's a blockchain and there's nothing that can be changed, um, so who's just it's just the thing that keeps corruption out of the system. And you can do, as Irene said, everything, properties, DeFi, everything. And this is just the beginning. People are afraid because they don't know. But it's like I was telling my friends, my two friends that I get in Drip. I tell them this is like a bank account. This is like the Drip faucet. This is like a bank account, and now when there was the first time we used ATMs, everybody was scared. And when we started with home banking, everybody was scared. But then in time, now it's a normal thing. And and like El Salvador now, the president pay all the country's debt with the central bank because they use Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Then they are debt free. That as a country, that is amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
I think they were the first, right? They said that
yes,
the Bitcoin is a legal tender. Yeah,
yes, the first,
they were the first
yes,
one.
and as a country to pay all the country's debt to the central bank, it's just amazing. So I think it's in time it's going to be like normal thing. Uh, but I'm feel blessed for all of this, for you guys, the community, forex. Uh, Ladies of the Faucet. I'm feel so blessed, and I'm not a religious person, but I really, really feel blessed. And you don't find all this trust and transparency and love and support. We support each other. We love each other. We maybe don't know uh, us our faces in a lot of cases, but like me, but for me, this is a blessing, and I want to thank you, Crypto Professor Girl, for doing this, for
Thank
inviting me,
you.
and all of you guys for listening to me, for supporting me all the time, for all the love I receive, and for being loved as I am, and that is what I found here. And as I said at the beginning, finding forex and finding this ecosystem is more than an investment for me. It became alive, and I thank you.
Yeah, I think we all share the same sentiment, and I really appreciate Susie for you very eloquently
Thank
um,
you.
stating that. Yeah. Well, I would like to thank all the participants, the ones who left us: Drip New Zealand, Drip Girl, Irene, Trigger, and Susie. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you would consider joining again. I do
Of
apologize for
course.
any technical difficulties that we had along the way. And I'm going to go ahead and also thank all the people who joined us, who watched us live. And I'm going to go ahead and end broadcast. But once I do end it, I think you guys will still be on, and we'll have, I think, like 1 minute after that.
Okay.
But thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and end broadcast, and I hope to see you all very, very soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.